Welcome back to the Sykes Villain channel, and welcome back to more movie previews, news, and reviews here on Griff Picks. If you've seen the first Griff Picks video, you're going to be a little more familiar with some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this video. If you haven't seen it, feel free to go back, watch that video, then come back and click on this video again. I'll still be here, I promise. This video came about because we're getting up to roughly a quarter of the year in, and we've gotten a few updates on things, and I wanted to talk about some of the movies that have been recently released that I've seen, and some upcoming movies. But first things first, we gotta jump right into horror because I'm a huge horror fan, and horror is one of the first things that I look at personally when I look at movies coming out for each year. Antlers. Antlers is an upcoming horror movie produced and presented by Guillermo del Toro and David S. Goyer. We recently got an update on the release date for it. It is now set for October 29th, 2021. So we should be getting it this year. Previous to this, it had a release date set for it. If you searched it, that was a date that has long since passed. So it was just unknown. Stars Jesse Plemons and Carrie Russell as siblings in a small town where he is the sheriff, possibly, or some type of lawman, and she is a teacher. I'm a huge fan of Jesse Plemons, you know, his work and acting and almost everything that I've seen him in. This film focuses on the Native American legend of the Wendigo, which is a Native American cryptid as far as I know. I'm very excited and looking forward to this movie. It looks very dark and ominous. Next up is Ghostbusters 3, aka Ghostbusters Afterlife. It is tentatively set to release sometime in July 2021. Written and directed by Jason Reitman, who wrote the screenplay. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but Jason Reitman, who is the son of Ivan Reitman, who was the original director of the first two films and also helped to write and bring those films to life overall. We've gotten a trailer for this, and it looks pretty good. On the cast list, we have a lot of the original cast from the first two films listed, like Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver, among many others actually, but we didn't see any of them in the trailer, as I think I've talked about before. This worries me a little because I'm hoping that we don't just get like a few second cameo from them. Currently on my watch list under the category of horror is Freaky, which is a horror comedy starring Vince Vaughn, and from the same people that made Happy Death Day 1 and 2. Those films were okay. I liked them, but they were PG-13. This is an R-rated feature, and it looks good. I love Vince Vaughn, and this has him in another somewhat comedic role. Actually should probably be watching it tonight, or maybe tomorrow night. Some stuff in the storyline is a bit ridiculous, like our lead actress is once again this thing that Hollywood does where they take this absolutely like beautiful young actress and make her the unpopular outcast at school, which is just totally unbelievable. But Hollywood, has been doing this a lot, and it, seems like they're going to continue to do it. So I don't know. It's just weird. Army of the Dead is a direct-to-Netflix zombie action horror that takes place in Las Vegas, and it is directed by Zack Snyder, who Zack Snyder might be having the best year ever. The sequel to his remake of Dawn of the Dead, which I absolutely loved, and I consider that one of the best, or one of my personal favorite zombie films of all time. I thought he did a great job with that, and hopefully this movie will echo that. Some horror movies that I have recently checked off my watch list include some horror classics or horror movies that you might find on like best horror movies of all time lists. First one is Eyes Without a Face, which is a French horror, and I didn't particularly find this movie scary, or a better way to put it is it didn't like scare me per se, but it was very honestly shocked with some of the stuff that the movie showed and some of the scenes that were in the film. Some of the practical effects and just some of the stuff that happened in the movie I did not expect to happen, because this is an older film, and I was just thinking to myself, like, what people must have thought and what their reactions must have been back in the day when this originally came out. Like, if it was enough to shock me now, it must have been really crazy back then. The next one is a Japanese psychedelic and fantastical horror movie, House. This movie has for a while, and I finally got the opportunity to watch it. It was really wild and out there, and in your face. Just a lot of the music and the way the scenes were set up and choreographed. It was something. Overall, I would say it was just not for me, personally, but I did like some of the scenes in it. Like there's one scene that has to do with a floating decapitated head. But this movie overall, the best way I can describe it was more like Let Him Go, which is a Kevin Costner and Diane Lane modern western / neo-noir western drama thriller. And thriller is really the key word there, because this movie was pretty intense. It's just that this couple that Kevin Costner and Diane Lane play, they just, throughout the film, they're very like out of their element and exposed, and they just feel very vulnerable amongst these other characters in the film. And this film makes you really care about your protagonists and really, really hate the villains. It reminded me of Uncut Gems. Not like the storyline or the theming, but just the way that it made me feel. This movie just builds tension steadily throughout the whole film. So if you had a tough time I thought it was a great film, really well acted, beautiful, some really great shots and cinematography because it takes place out west, so you're getting those types of landscapes. I Care a lot. Crime, thriller, dark comedy. And I'm not too sure about this film. Like, I think like maybe I didn't get it. It like, the protagonist in the movie, let me just say this, the protagonist in the movie is one of, in my opinion, is one of the person that we follow throughout this film. But, I mean, the film looked beautiful, it had high production value, there were some funny parts in it. Peter Dinklage is in this movie, and he's great, as always. You know, he plays a villain character, but a couple others that I recently watched were Nomadland and The Empty Man. And first, want to talk about Nomadland. It was good. Another really beautiful, captivating movie with lots of really great shots of swooping. I just felt like it went on a bit too long. There was like 3 different points where I thought the movie was ending or about to end, and then it just kept going. But it stars Frances McDormand, and I love her in everything that she's been in. So I'll pretty much watch anything that she's in. Made it very interesting. The Empty Man, this one was interesting. It has a runtime of over 2 hours, and it is a horror movie. It has a great opening sequence that I loved, and in fact, I really loved it like all the way through. It has some very like super creepy moments in it. And it really reminded me of the movie The Ring, the American version. But, yeah, I really enjoyed it all the way up until, like, the last 15 minutes of the movie, and then it sort of lost me. So, big update. Zack Snyder's Justice League, a.k.a. Justice League, the Director's Cut. It is now set to release March 18th, 2021, which is coming up, quickly approaching, and it is being released directly to HBO Max as a 4-part miniseries, each part being an hour long, making it 4 hours long total runtime. Something else new was it was confirmed and actually shown to us in a trailer that Jared Leto's The Joker is going to, or he is Godzilla vs. Kong will also be premiering directly to HBO Max, and I think also in some theaters, whichever ones that are actually open. It looks like they are setting it up to where Godzilla is the villain, which, if you've seen the other monster movies within this, like, cinematic universe, you know that in all the other movies, Godzilla has been our hero, our savior. So that's a little strange. I thought that the whole setup that they were going to do was going to be similar to Batman vs. Superman, where Kong and Zilla were going to start out at odds fighting each other, but then a common enemy was going to be revealed at some point during the movie. Kong. Who do I hope will win? Godzilla, but looks unlikely. Spider-Man 3 live action idea, but I'm very excited for that. Release Christmas 2021, so this year, and we got an official title: Spider-Man No Way Home. Jurassic World 3, release date June 2022. Fantastic Beasts 3, release date July 2022. And Indiana Jones 5, release date July 2022. I don't know why I said July 2022 on the one. Other than that. But, yeah, I would say that's good with this name, but Taika Waititi, the director of Jojo Rabbit, is confirmed to direct the next Star Wars film, but it's not due to come out until at least the end of 2022, but it'll probably be pushed back even longer than that. Brand of good job, and definitely add his, like, brand of comedy to it. 6 episodes tacked on to the end of it. And that The Walking Dead is getting their 10th season extended, and it has also been confirmed the 11th season will be the last season. News and reviews. Unlike a lot of other people that kind of gave up on the show, I've stuck with it and been a fan of it the whole time. I didn't read the graphic novels, But I've loved the show since its conception. I'm hoping that in the 11th season we do get at least a cameo from Rick Grimes. That would be cool. I don't know why I'm holding this pen, but I don't really know what to do with my hands, and I've been holding it this whole time. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye now.